Hey, can you hear me? Hmm, maybe not. I was just so excited to think that I had some bars where I could actually talk to somebody. Oh, you can't hear me? Okay, good. Good. Bro, you said you guys aren't getting hammered like we are. Hey, Cosmic, how are y'all? Today's been stressful. I don't know if it's just being locked up that has me all edgy and bitchy or what, but oh, I gotta get out of the house. I get out in my little buggy, but I can't get very far. Snow's too bad. The ice is too bad. But remember, there's a lack. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, did y'all both get a lot of snow? Hmm, maybe I lost my signal again. Oh, you just got some snow. Hey, Steve, how are you? See, we got a lot of. Hey, Knob. See, we got a lot of snow, but today we got rain and sleet. So, oh, if you're from Wisconsin, it snows a lot in Wisconsin, doesn't it? I want to go to Wisconsin to have some cheese curds. Did you get my message, Steve? If Shoot the Shit puts out nudes, I'm sending them to you every 15 minutes until you pay me $1,000. Just how it is. Then I'm splitting it with the girls. So don't think you can turn them against me. Oh, yeah, we're not used to all this. We've lived on this property over 20 years, and I have never hardly gotten any snow. And it is so deep, I can walk outside and it's like halfway up my calf. I was just freaking out. Never seen anything like that. That's what I want. I want cheese curds. One of the ladies I used to work with, she was from Wisconsin, and that's one of the things she talked about all the time. She said when you bite into them, they squeak. They're so fresh. So I'm like, cool. I just wanted to see if I could go live. I want to start going live. I'm tired of all the nasty drama. I just want people to start doing panels where we can just have fun and stuff like Shannon did the other night and stuff. Just too much nastiness out there. I let myself get sucked up into it today, and I shouldn't have. I knew better. Knew better. Hi, Irish. How are you? I think it's just the stir crazy. I think COVID already has crazy people super crazy and normal people are going crazy. And now you throw the ice storms and everything on it, and everybody's going batshit crazy. I'm telling you, it's just ridiculous. And then I was sitting here reading Facebook, and I'm just like shaking my head because there's so many prisons here, right? So everybody's trying to get out of going to work. So they're all in there cussing like, my supervisor told me to find a way to go to work. And then like two posts down, the same person is on there bitching because the Sonic down the street didn't open up. And I'm like, bitch, you didn't want to go to work, but you want these little kids to get out on the road to make you a hamburger. Come on. Hey, Andrea or Andy. Haven't seen you in a while. And then the first day that it got real cold, about 5 o'clock, I looked on Facebook and they were all attacking the propane company because they started calling around noon and 1 o'clock on the same day it froze, wanting propane for their tanks. And the propane company said they're not putting their trucks out on the road because it's icing over. So, oh my God, they were all attacking the propane company. And I'm just like shaking my head. I'm like, how? Just can't believe it. And a lot of my husband's friends are linemen, and a lot of my friends' kids are linemen. and they've been working night and day. People just don't appreciate it. It's like, it's not the government, it's Mother Nature you're fighting against. Don't understand it. Yeah, 2021 is a new level of crazy, straight up. Straight up. I don't think I can handle another 2020. I might have to get some medication. If y'all know some good ones, send me a DM, because I don't know if I can make it without. Because it's sure enough driving me crazy. And if I start acting like, oh, you know who, then you better do something with me, lock me up. Yeah, it's impossible to fight Mother Nature. But you know that, because you know the hurricanes and stuff. But then everybody wants to get all mad. Here where I live, we lost a power station, and we lost a pump station. So they were doing rolling blackouts and stuff. And people were so mad. They were like, well, they can run us off that one station. But what they kept trying to tell them is, we can, but we're going to burn it up. And when we burn it up, we won't have anything, you know. And they didn't care. They were just raising hell. I was just like, I'm lucky my husband takes care of everything. We had fires going, and our biggest problem was trying to keep the animals, you know, alive, because it's been really rough. I've heard a bunch of people say that they're losing animals, and that's really sad. I bet nobody goes across Lake Pontchartrain this week. I would be curious to see if anybody tries to make it across. I wonder if they shut it down during ice storms and stuff. Never been up there during that kind of weather. I'm usually only in Louisiana like summer, spring, or fall. I don't think I've ever been during the winter. But I did hear we might get internet out here, so through Jumanji. I'm sure you guys, Cosmic, I'm sure y'all are laughing y'all's ass off at us. Because, girl, I ain't gonna lie, when it hits 60 degrees, I have my Carhartt out, and I'm like, ooh, ooh, I can't be going to the grocery store, it's too cold. Because it just does not normally get cold around here. The news the other day said that this is the coldest it's been in our area since 1891. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what the local news was saying. So I'm like, they were saying on our news that Saturday we should be back up in the 70s. Yes and no, I want to rescue. Luckily, I can say, like, a lot of my friends that live up north and stuff, they were sending me messages, kind of telling me little tricks and stuff to help with the animals and stay warm and different things. I really appreciated that. Steve keeps refusing to roll the dice. I tried to play that show. My daughter is one of those helicopter moms, and I had my grandsons one time, and I tried to play that show for them, because, I mean, to me, I didn't think it was scary, and I thought they would like it. Oh, freak no, they had nightmares and told their mom on me. So now I have to have all movies approved beforehand. Jumanji, go figure. My little grandsons must be wusses. I will say they live up in the woodlands, and they've been loving the snow. Their dad made them a little sled, and they've tied it behind the golf cart, and they were pulling it all over the neighborhood. They've been having a blast. They'll send me little videos and pictures every day. Is she really? My kids loved Harry Potter. I mean, they're grown now, and they'll get to texting sometimes back and forth, and it'll be Harry Potter crap that they're talking about. Like, there's supposed to be some new movie coming out or something like that, and I just shake my head, because they're in their late 20s and 30s. But he loves NCIS. Barry used to like NCIS. And what's that Who, who are you? I can't remember the name. What the show is, he would watch that all the time when he was little because you'd hear him in there. Who are you? It's like, but that and his other show was Pimp My Ride. That was his other favorite show that he never missed. And see real dead bodies, but hey, in Louisiana, they're all into dead bodies and stuff. My cousins own an oil field company and they're doing some business up in Louisiana, and they were up there in New Orleans maybe 3 weeks ago, and they had a meeting, and the lady sitting next to them at the table had COVID, so they let them come home, but they had to come home and be on quarantine and stuff. And my cousin, she just said, from now, we're not going until this is over, because that's the second time they've been there for a meeting, and somebody in the meeting had COVID, and they had to go on lockdown. I worked with a young girl at the prison. She was really young. She had just graduated high school. She was like 19. Hey, Crazy Daisy. And she actually went into forensic science. And she would work at the prison and go to school during the day. And we didn't think she would make it. We thought that she would like change her major or something. And she actually stuck it out. She works for the Houston Crime Lab. And she's been there, God, I think about 10 years now at least. So you never know. She said she had wanted to do that ever since she was a little kid. I can't remember where she said she lived, but evidently they found a dead body in the lake or creek or something, and she was young and saw it, and then she was just hooked. Oh, hang on a second. Okay, sorry, that's my husband. He's probably checking on the fires. I keep cutting he keeps turning all the faucets on to drip, and it's a habit. I keep walking by all of them and cutting them off. And then he'll be like, "Did you cut the faucets off?" I'm like, "Yeah." I will say we kept water. Most of the people around us didn't, but we've had water the whole time. Which I went 2 days without taking a freaking bath because I didn't think we had hot water. And then I told my husband, I said, "I'm tired of smelling like butt and dirty clothes." He was like, "Take a shower." And I'm like, "It's too cold." And he was like, "We have hot water." And I was like, "What?" I went around for 2 days smelling like butt and dirty clothes, and we have hot water. He was like, "Well, I thought you were smart enough to know how to turn the faucet on and check." Mm. But other than that, we've done pretty good because we have a wood burning fireplace and one of those wood burning stoves. So we've stayed really warm. Luckily, we had enough wood to get us through. Have y'all ever had snow up there where you're at before, Pearl? Does it snow that far? I didn't think it snowed up there. And my husband's so proud of himself because he baked cookies on the wood burning stove. I wouldn't tell him they taste like shit, but I wouldn't tell him that. Trace amounts 3. See, that's how it is here. Like if you tried to build a snowman, he would be brown because half of what you're picking up is dirt and a little bit of ice. But girl, I'm not joking. We got some serious snow. Serious snow. I thought it was funny because the first day it happened, our tank behind, I think I put a video up, the tank behind our house froze up. And I was over there with the horses, and I walked over to take a picture of it standing on the hill. And it was so funny because the horses and the mule, they came and they stood like directly next to me. And I kid you not, I really felt like they were like, because I was looking at it and I was like, "Hey, y'all, look, it's all frozen. I've never seen it frozen." And they're all just kind of looking over at me like, "I know, right? Have you ever seen any shit like this before?" I swear if they could have talked, that's what they were going to say to me. And then I spent like 20 minutes trying to pick icicles out of their manes. I am too, Daisy. Luckily, like I said, I got a good husband. And plus, we have good neighbors out here. We live way out in the country, and everybody's kind of spread out, but everybody's been like, everybody checks on everybody. What I worry about is like the old people who don't have anybody, and it's so cold. And everybody here is mad. They're mad at the city council. They're mad at the government. They're mad at the electric companies. And it's like sometimes you just can't prepare for stuff. Sometimes you just have to be a human being and help each other out. You can't always depend on your government to be there for you. Sometimes you do. I mean, what the hell did they do in the 1800s? You know? I don't know. We have so many people moving up here from California, too, that things are really changing. In case you've never been to Texas, people from California and Texas don't always mesh. We're kind of different. But I say that I would say Austin is probably the closest thing to California Texas has. So if you're from California and you're moving here, you'd probably be right at home in Austin. And I know Danny, she's on here, and I talk to her on Twitter and stuff every once in a while, but she's up like in Fort Worth. I feel bad for her. They get bad weather, but not like what they're getting now. And I think she's like in the medical field, so they're getting hammered. My oldest daughter's in the medical field, and they've been having her work ER. Excuse me. So she had to pack clothes the other day, and they told them that they would just be keeping them at the hospital. Luckily, she only had to stay. I think she only had to work like 18 hours or something, and she got to come home. But she was one of the lucky ones. So you pile all the people with COVID in there, and then you put the ice storm on top of it with all the accidents, and it's crazy. We have tons of people moving from Phoenix from California too. Really? I laughed. I guess it was last year. I was in Walmart and I was behind the cutest little old lady. I mean, I'm 5 foot tall and she was teeny tiny compared to me. And she looked kind of like a hippie. She had on like this long skirt. She was so tiny and her hair was really long. She was so cute. And she was putting her groceries up and she dropped something. I picked it up for her. She said, "Oh, thank you, sweetie." She was like, "Everybody here is just so sweet." And I said, "The name of my town?" She said, "No, in Texas." I said, "Really?" She said, "Yeah, I'm from California." I said, "Oh, really? How you liking it here?" She said, "I'm loving it." She said, I will never go back to California." And man, she just started bitching him. And she's lived in California her whole life. And she just went on about people shitting on the streets and tents and how Nancy Pelosi needed her ass kicked. And I was just like, ooh. But she looked so little and cute until she got to throwing her fit. But yeah, she said she lived in California her whole life, and she said she could remember when she was young, like one day being up in the mountains skiing and the next day being on the beach surfing, and what a beautiful state it was and how it's been ruined. So, I don't know. I've never been that far. How many of y'all were in Shannon's stream the other day when she did the movie trivia? I actually thought that was kind of fun just to get away from all the craziness of YouTube. Plus, there's so many people like in the side chat and stuff that never talk or never get up. And you wish some of them would get up on panel because some of them are just the stuff they type in chat is freaking hilarious. So you'd really like to maybe see some of them up on panel like discussing something because just the crap that they type has me rolling. One of the main ones I can think of is Sadie that hangs around over at Nana and Sunset Sally's. Sadie is freaking hilarious. I feel like she might be an undercover comedian or something, and she's punking us all. But yeah, I thought stuff like that was fun. I think the drama community has just gotten out of control. And I've pretty much made up my mind if somebody doxes, I'm done with them. I don't care how much I like them. I don't care how much I like their channel. I just can't. It's getting old and it's getting nasty and I'm sorry, people don't deserve to have their houses swatted and CPS called on them and stuff just because they're on the freaking internet. I disagree with all that. Oh wait. Oh, my chat was way behind. I didn't see any of this. Bear with me, guys. I'm new at all this crap. Hang on. Let me catch up with it. Hey, Steve-O. I've already told Steve Yoakum if Shoot the Shittin' and put out naked pictures, I'm sending them. I'm sending them every 5 to 15 minutes, $1,000 until you guys pay me off. So if any pictures surface, you better have your bank account ready because it's on. Are you on live tonight, Steve-O? Plus, I've gotten where I'm in a lot of chats now. I know this might be shady, but I've gotten where I'm in a lot of chats now, and I don't even chat. Half the time, I just sit there and lurk and just listen and watch. I know that's one thing a long time ago Pirates said, if you just sit back and watch, you'll see who people really are. So here lately, I've just been, with everything that's going on, I've just been sitting back and doing that. Oh, he's doing a movie night tonight? Oh, maybe tomorrow or the next day. What's the movie? So I know to watch it. I love that kind of stuff because it just gets your mind off shit. People can just kind of talk about stuff. Get away from all this other bullshit. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have the temperament for this kind of shit. I seriously don't. It's called Come Play. I've never heard of that. Is it on Netflix? No, he is watching a movie with the. Oh, okay. Renting on Amazon Prime. I have Amazon Prime. I steal it from my daughter. One thing you should know about me, I'm a cheapskate. How do you do that? Come watch movies with us, Lavin. How do you watch it like as a group or something? Really? See, I'm like so low tech. It literally took me this afternoon. I tried to go live and it took me, well, I had to post because I couldn't even figure out how to get back on the damn YouTube shit. Okay, gotta go. All right, thanks for stopping in, Steve-O. Yeah, Daisy, lurking. She was right. You learn a lot about people lurking. And I think I might have hurt some people's feelings today because on Twitter, because I was like, I just can't. I can't have anything to do with you because some of the nasty stuff that you're over there with, I can't. And I liked one of the people. The other one I don't really know that well, but I just can't. If I'm going to draw a line in the sand, I have to draw a line in the sand, Google. Yeah, I Google everything. And Google Meets. I've never heard of that. I'll have to ask my kids to show me what that is. Yeah, I did figure it out. I'm not going to lie, though, it took me a second. But honestly, the COVID has really messed with my mind. It's getting better, but I find that I forgot things or I'm having trouble remembering things that it's just insane. And the doctor says it'll get better. I can't say it has started getting some better, but it's still an issue. I wish I could blame it on my bad grammar and my typing skills, but unfortunately, can't. I just suck at all that. So I just go to Google Meets. I'll check that. I'm watching The Unsettling right now. Oh, you're doing it. Everybody, see, I'm so out of touch with every damn thing. killer documentaries yesterday, to calm me down. Shit. Um, I really got into on Amazon Prime. There's a show called The 11, and it's about the girl. I think I talked about it over at Shannon about the girls in the killing field. That documentary was awesome. And as they got into the documentary, I started realizing that I knew the guy. Um, he was on our unit for a long time, and we had some issues. So when I figured out I knew him, I called my girlfriend and I told her the name, and she was like, That motherfucker. And I was like, no, go watch this movie. And she went and watched it. And as soon as she watched the first episode or two, I guess she was kind of like, what's she talking about? And then once they started putting it out there and she figured it out, she was like texting me like crazy, like, what the fuck? I was like, right? This son of a bitch the whole time was a serial killer and we didn't know it. Well, this is, like I said, this is called The 11, and it blew my mind because it's a detective and a newspaper reporter, and these girls had been murdered and they had unsolved cases, and one of them, another man, even went to prison for the case, and then what's so crazy about that? Well, I'm not going to tell you. I need to tell you. You might want to watch it. I don't want to. Yeah, I've actually met several serial killers. They are our crew are a bunch of weirdos. See, when I worked in that field, I was real into it. Like all my friends, we would be into that stuff. We would watch stuff like that all the time. And then when I retired, I got where I would hardly ever watch anything. It's almost like you get PTSD from it. It's like everything you've been exposed to is so dark that once you get away from it, you kind of try to avoid it because watching evil and being hand in hand with evil is two different things, if that makes any sense. These are weak. I quit. I learned a lesson the hard way. I quit reading like the books and all that on the people that I worked around because it really creeped me out to read some of the stuff that they had done. And then I have to deal with this person. Because believe it or not, there's a lot of killers that are not on death row. Lots and lots of killers that are not on death row. There's a book out called Blood Rush. I don't know if any of y'all have ever read it, but the like I said, my mind is not really good. The guy's name was Green. I think his name was Danny Green, and his brother Timmy was on our unit, and I worked around him all the time. He was, I mean, yeah, he was actually a good kid. He did his job. He didn't bother anybody. Worked really hard. Was always respectful. And then they were getting ready to execute his brother, and I was working visitation. And this man comes in, and he's dressed like Walker, Texas Ranger, except taller, starched and iron jeans, real nice haircut. Really, all the women were like checking him out. And then he leans over to me, and where nobody could hear us, and he says, I need to talk with somebody because I need to see, he told me the guy's name. And it hit me because I knew what was going on. And I just looked at him, and I guess he figured from the look on my face, he knew I knew because I said, and what's your name? And he told me, and I was like, okay, let me get a supervisor down here. But he came to see his little brother because they were fixing to execute his other brother. But he had been in prison too. The whole family had been participating in murders. So I was like, wow. Yeah, Daisy, I worked for the prison for almost 25 years. Yep, I retired in 2018. Just got old. I have a feeling my chat screen is not keeping up because a while ago it slagged and then all of a sudden it went really fast and there was a bunch of stuff I missed. So if I'm missing y'all, that's what the problem is. But yes, Texas prison system is huge, but I worked in a lot of different areas. I started out as an officer. I turned into a training officer. I worked as a field boss. Those are the ones that carry out, they call them the chain gangs, but they don't have chains on them. Some of them do. Ours didn't. I did that for a while. I was on, when I did both of those, I was on what they call the riot team. And then I went on to be a field training officer and train like the new boots and stuff. And oh, I got that touched up. I got me some of that, what do you call when you alter your picture? Yeah, I got me some of that going on. Not a lot. I just blurred it a little bit. But yeah, I worked extortion. I worked gang. I did a little bit of everything as I promoted through the years. That's one thing good about working for the prison. If you don't like doing the same thing and you work really hard, there's lots of different areas you can work in. I worked in use of force. I actually, between two different places I worked in use of force for almost a total of 10 years. So once you do over 7 years, you can usually be considered an expert witness. So that was something that me and one of my friends had actually thought about doing, was getting ourselves qualified to be expert witnesses for court cases and stuff. But then once I retired, I was just like, I don't want to deal with anything to do with the prison anymore. I'm tired of it. Gives you bad energy. That's why when I say I have to hold my temper in, I have to hold my temper in, because you can't work a place like that and not become like a violent person. It just makes you become a violent person. So you have to really rein it in. And that's why when some of these people we all know who on here like to threaten me, I have to laugh at them. I mean, I've had grown men knock me across the room. I've been hit, kicked, spit on, stomped on, punched, come home bruised out of hell, bleeding, everything. I ain't scared of no Mississippi trash. Nope, I'm 53. I got to retire when I was 50. I could have stayed a few more years, but it was only going to be like $300 difference in my paycheck, and I was like, screw that. I don't need that $300. I have thought about, though, we're wanting to move to Colorado. I have thought about going on ahead of my husband because we can't go for 4 years. I've thought about going on ahead of him and getting on maybe with the Colorado prison and working up there until he got up there. But every time I start thinking about it, just something inside me is just like, do you really want to do that? No, I really don't. I will say, after dealing with all this snow and stuff, I don't know how I'm feeling about Colorado. I'll have to share on Twitter. Um, we found this place in a place called Creek, Colorado. I don't know if y'all know anything about Creek, Colorado, but evidently it was an old silver mining town and stuff. And we found this cabin, and it's only like 299 square feet, so it's tiny, like a tiny house. But it like sits in the basin of these mountains. So you don't own the mountains, you just own the lot that your little cabin is in. But when you walk out your front door and stuff, you're just surrounded by nothing but mountains. And I mean, it's just beautiful. And my husband was like, we should go ahead and buy that and just start going. And then this snowstorm hit, and my husband said, I don't think we should look at that place anymore. I don't think you would make it. I don't think I would either. Are you from Texas, Daisy, or are you from a different state? Pearl's doing meds. She'll be right back. Oh, I didn't know she was at work. I was really getting excited when Shannon was said she was gonna start doing a lot of the true crime stuff, because a lot of these people I've met through it at one time or another. in one Texas anyway. My chat is not moving. I wonder if I'm doing something wrong. Uh, Anyway, I'm just excited that I got enough signal to actually talk to some people from Seattle. Oh, Seattle. So Seattle is Washington. Is Mercer Island is in Washington, or is it Washington State? My uncle lived in Washington and on a place called Mercer Island. He doesn't live there now. He lives in Colorado, but he used to send us pictures of like the whales and stuff coming through the harbor and stuff. It was really cool. Never been. Let's see. I've been to Washington, D.C. right after I retired. The problem is Texas is such a huge state that like if you want to go out visiting or seeing other places, it takes so long just to get out of Texas. It's insane. So like we like to go to Colorado and stuff, but shit, it takes like 12 hours just to get to Colorado, just to hit the state line. So, and I like to go to Florida. I like to go to Destin. And I like Tennessee. I like to go up in the Smoky Mountains. I liked Georgia. I didn't like Arkansas. I wasn't really impressed with Arkansas. I wasn't really impressed with Oklahoma. It's really flat, really, but they do have casinos. Casinos are cool. Me and my best friend looked at Arizona because, they have all those 55 and older um, little living areas where you like buy a little house and you live in a little neighborhood and you have a country club and stuff with all the 50 and over. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I was right on that. I knew that he lived on Mercer Island. I don't know if you've ever heard of that before, but he had a beautiful house there. And he would send us like videos because the way his house set, he could like stand out on his balcony and film down the street, like straight down the street, and he could zoom it in and it would show part of the bay, and he would send pictures of the videos of the orcas and stuff. It was really cool. I love Florida. I can tell you after going to the beaches in Florida, I throw rocks at anything in Texas. If you want to go to beaches, yeah, no. Now I can't sounds really horrible, but now I don't even want to go to the beach in Texas anymore after going to Florida. My youngest son, Bear, the one that passed away, he was like obsessed with fishing, deep sea fishing, and all that. So for his graduation, we took him up to Florida, and he was just blown away. Oh, I didn't know you were working tonight, Pearl. It was nice here today. Now, see, the same uncle that lived in Washington, he lived in Arizona for a while, and because he worked with a train company, and but he said Arizona. If you want to go to Arizona, you better be ready because he said it is so hot, and he's from Texas, so for him to say it's hot, that means it must be really hot. Texas wasn't he? Sam Little was Texas, wasn't he? I don't know. I had to look up that name. There were so many. I think the most famous one, I think I've said it like quite a few times, I ever met was Henry Lee Lucas. And we actually let him get off death row, which is disgusting, but he got off death row. That's when I met him. What blows my mind is, and I'm not knocking people from other countries, but other countries, especially England and stuff, they don't believe in the death penalty. So these inmates on death row, the people from England and all these other countries, they send them tons of money. And they're on their visitation list. And I mean, these guys make bank. Interesting case so far. He was highest known body count, 93. I am going to have to look him up. Like I said, since I've had the COVID, sometimes I don't remember things, but if I look it up, it'll jog my memory. I keep saying I want to go to the Texas. We have the Texas killing fields, and I keep saying I want to go there and do a little paranormal thing. But then sometimes I'm kind of like, well, do I really want to? Is that disrespectful? All those young girls. I kind of like, I don't know. I did meet. Have you ever seen the guys from Deep South Paranormal, Kevin and them? I did meet them. I met them up in Tyler. Half the year is super hot and the other 6 months are beautiful. See, my uncle is a really big guy, and he had been in Arizona for like 3 years, I think, and he came down to visit, and he was so skinny. Like my cousin, she was crying because she thought he had cancer or something. He kept trying to tell her, no, it's the heat up here. It just, you know. Well, honestly, Pearl, with that, I didn't realize until I watched that movie, The 11, that there were even, I've seen the Texas Killing Fields and I've seen the movies on it, but I didn't, until I watched that movie, The 11, I didn't realize that there were even more people killed in the Killing Fields than just the ones that we knew about. It's crazy. One of the girls, like I said, I can't remember names real good. Her dad actually started that Aqua Search or whatever up here. And so, like, when anytime there's anybody missing or anything around here, he brings crews and stuff down and does all kinds of stuff. But he started all that. Just one of the reasons was because he lost his daughter in the killing fields. It's really sad. I also keep thinking I want to go up to Houston to the Spaghetti Warehouse. That's another one I would kind of like to see. I've been, okay, since you're not really that far away from this, have you ever heard of Bragg Light? I'm trying to think of, they call it Saratoga Lights, but we call it Bragg Light. Have you ever been there? It's probably, I don't know, it's probably only about 40, maybe 50 miles from Louisiana. It's, I think, I think it's in North Hardin County. It's cool. It's really cool. It was really weird because when I started a new job at the prison, I started working at the use of force office, and it's a little tiny office, and we're all out by ourselves. And one of the girls that I started working with, she does a lot of paranormal stuff, and in the Spaghetti Warehouse Factory. Yeah, it's in Houston, and it has a pretty scary reputation. But the one girl I worked with, she has like the cameras, she's the one that I'm always talking about that bought a historical house in Jefferson, in the haunted Jefferson. But anyway, she came and she was talking about some paranormal stuff with me, and she found out that I kind of like it. And she was like, have you ever been to Saratoga Lights? And I was like, no. And then my friend that worked in the office with me, she was like, yes, you have. And I was like, I have. And she said, remember that place you said you told us that story about that time we were dying laughing? I was like, which one? She was like, where you got your ears hung? And I was like, oh, yeah, because we call it brag light. But it was so funny because when I was a little kid on Halloween, my cousins took me there, and we weren't supposed to go out on Halloween night because my grandpa's a preacher. And we went, and some really bad shit happened to us. And I was so traumatized that we got home, and my grandpa was waiting for us. And my grandpa was a huge man, like 6'4", 6 foot, just a giant man. My grandpa was standing there, and I was really small for my age, and I was really little. So I ran over and like hugged up on my grandpa's leg, and my grandpa asked where we had been. Well, of course, I snitched on everybody. And I was so upset and scared. And my grandpa said, it's swamp gas. It's swamp gas. There's no such thing as ghosts. There's no such thing as headless people. There's no such thing. And of course, I was like flipping out. So my grandpa tells me, I'm going to take you. We're going back. I'm going to show you. And girl, let me tell you, I passed smooth out. Like, passed out. Like, woke up with ice pack on my head. That's how scared. And I was scared of it my whole entire life. Hey, Tammy, what are you up to? Are you working on the house? But yeah, I was scared of that place my whole entire life. So my friend, she said, "How about this weekend, me, you, and my son go?" And I've been telling him about it. So how about me and you and him go? And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know because it really scared me when I was a kid." And she was like, "Well, let's just see if it's what you remember." Yes, it was exactly what I remembered. It was a ball of light that kept chasing the car, kept moving around. Still scared the shit out of me. But I keep telling myself it was swamp gas. Clancy, I hope the weather's getting a little better for y'all. It's sleeting and rain and sleet here now, which they say is even more dangerous than the snow. But maybe when the weather gets all better, maybe that's what we are to do is get together and do some paranormal stuff. Like I told you, my girlfriend has the house in Jefferson, and it was built in, I think it was 1849 or 1851. And she lives right there at the edge of the historic part of Jefferson. You literally like walk out her front door and walk into the. She said, "Yeah, I know, right? Hey, don't mess with my head, Pearl. Swamp gas." Telling you, I still have nightmares about that shit. I was braver though. I did get out of the car with her son and try to like find the swamp gas. Got the dishes done, sitting down. That's like me. My husband did all the cooking today because he was cooking on the little stove. So I washed dishes. I wanted to go, like I said, I wanted to go live this afternoon, but I just couldn't figure it out. My internet has been so slow. I will say, I make fun of all these people, but I am really spoiled. I was doing good with the wood burning stove and not having electricity. But I tell you, when my internet slowed down, I was starting to get really bitchy because then I didn't have anything to do. Of course, my husband was like, "Well, you can chop wood. You can do." No, 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 no. I want to watch Netflix. I'm watching The Unsettling, which is pretty good. It's not great, but it's pretty good. Tammy, have you ever heard of what is it, Google Movies? If Tammy does it too and I'm the only one who doesn't, I'm going to be like, what the hell? I'm telling you. Look, there's a cemetery in Tyler, Texas. I'll have to get with my friend and ask her what the name of it we went to. We went to a paranormal conference up there, and they set up all this stuff for us to do. And we went to that cemetery. Normally, I don't get scared. I haven't ever been so scared in my whole life. And there was another group of people there with us that we didn't really know. And the girls, they were mostly speaking Spanish. They were Hispanic, and they kept talking to themselves and this other boy, that or young guy that was with them. And they were mostly speaking Spanish to each other. And we had just met them, and we were in that cemetery, and the ghost box kept going off, and it kept asking like for Mary, and then it would ask for Maria, and then the ghost box would start speaking Spanish. And they were like, what the hell? And so we all kind of got together, and we were like kind of talking, like, is it speaking Spanish? What's it saying? And they were kind of telling us. And I have a nickname that I've gone by for years, and it kept saying that name or a version of that name. And my friend, nobody else knew it because we didn't know these people. And my girlfriend, she kept going, it's talking about you. And I'm like, it's not talking about me. She's like, it's talking about you. And it's like, it's not talking about me. And they had hired a priest to come bless the cemetery because it had so much bad stuff happen to it. Well, we're standing there, and they have their little ghost box, and we all get to talking. Everybody's getting really nervous, and it's one of those nights that's really cold. And then all of a sudden the wind started blowing. It got really hot. So my thing was, what's around here? Is there a factory around here? What's around here that that hot air could be coming from, you know? And I told my friend Michelle, I said, you know what? I don't mind ghost chasing, but I don't like messing with evil. And my friend Michelle was like, I agree with you. She's like, I'm getting really bad vibes here. She's one of those people that's kind of sensitive. And the boy that was there with the two Hispanic girls, this kid is like 6'5". He's like a giant. And he is getting so scared. He's getting all teared up. And we start getting real nervous. And the two Hispanic ladies are kind of a little bit off from us talking to one another and talking to him. And I told my girlfriend, I'm like, we need to get out of here. And she was like, do you think that they blessed the whole cemetery and didn't bless like around the cemetery or what? She said, because I'm really kind of scared to leave if this is a safe spot. And I told her, well, I don't know. What do you think we should do? And the ghost box goes, run, bitch. And I was like, oh, fuck no. Oh, as clear as daylight. It said, run, bitch. And they didn't, the two Hispanic ladies and that guy, they didn't know our conversation. And they were looking at us like, it said, run, bitch. And I was like, oh, hell no, I got to get out of here. Definitely affect. Well, that was the first thing that went through my mind. We went back during the daylight, and there was nothing anywhere around that cemetery. And then we went the next morning after, because we went there as soon as we got up. We ate breakfast. We went by there because it was on the way back to the paranormal conference. And you know how they do paranormal conferences several days? So we get back there and we're talking to all these people. And this one group says the boy, the big kid that was at the cemetery with us, he had already talked to some of those people. And he saw us come in. He was like, hey, y'all, come here. Come here. Tell them what happened to us last night. So we were telling him. And this guy walks up and he said, oh, you need to see the pictures we got there. And I was like, really? He goes, yeah, we won a contest with this picture. We took a picture and you submit them. If they can't debunk your picture, you win like money off of it. And he said, was the ghost looking for me or whatever it is? And we were like, what do you mean? He goes, normally when anybody goes out there, the Frank's box or ghost box or whatever will say, where is so and so? Well, his name is the same name as my nickname. And that's what it was saying. It kept saying, where's so and so? Where's that motherfucker? Where the hell is? And I was like, oh, thank God it wasn't talking to me. And then he showed us the picture that they won the contest with. I want to say the name of their group was Star Paranormal, and they're from somewhere up around Tyler or something. And they actually have a picture of that cemetery that they won the money off of. But anyway, he shows us the picture, and we ask him where in the cemetery was this picture took at, and it was exactly where we were standing when all the crazy shit happened. And everybody, when we got back and we were showing the pictures, everybody was like, you want to go back? You want to go back? I was like, I don't mess with evil. I would never go back to that cemetery ever. Sounds like fun. I'm telling you, it scared the shit out of me. You have to use Google Meets, but then someone will share a screen from movie. We do movie nights. Okay, I am gonna have to Google that. That does sound cool. But yeah, that's probably the most frightened I've ever been. And then I've had, something happen at the Jefferson Hotel, but those have been the only two things that have ever really just scared me where I couldn't figure out what caused it because normally I'm the person that doesn't believe it. Everybody will run off screaming or whatever, and I'm like trying to figure out what caused it. Cemetery scare the hell. Usually they do me too. We were doing the paranormal conference and they give you a map and they give you times and they send you to all these different locations because normally I won't go to cemeteries. That's just not one of my I did when I first started with my friends and stuff, but then I just got a bad feeling about it. And we got some pretty good pictures and stuff, but it just, do you only use your phone or do you use a, I only have my phone because we can't get internet out here. They're saying that within the next year or so, we should be able to get internet through the electric company. And then peaceful. Um, some of them. a lot of them up around here, when we've done like the EVPs and we've set up the cameras and stuff, we've got some crazy pictures. I mean, crazy stuff. But there is one that's not far from my house. And I'll have to tell you the name of it in DMs and let you look it up because I always worry about people going there and tearing stuff up. But it's been around since like the 1800s and it's out in the middle of nowhere. And I will say that when you go there, it is the strangest feeling. You feel like you just want to lay in the grass and read a book. It's the weirdest feeling. But we've got some crazy pictures there, but it never seemed scary. It just always seemed almost too inviting, if that makes any sense. Oh, okay. Sign in my Google name. Okay. I know my daughter and them are going to go out of town here in the next couple months, and I'll have their house, and they have all kind of Wi-Fi and stuff, and I'm all excited because I'm going to be all hooked up. I should be able to do like a panel and all kinds of stuff if they'll teach me how before they leave. But I'll be there for like a week, living high on the hog. They live where you can get like Goober Eats and all kind of stuff like that. I don't even have to leave the house. The grocery store brings the food to me. That's a big deal for me living out in the middle of nowhere. I just got to watch their dogs. They got one of those labradoodles, and that thing is like ginormous. And he's dumb as a box of rocks. But the boys love him, so. And the boys are loving the snow. I think I already said that. They've been sending me like pictures left and right constantly. My littlest grandson, he just turned 3, and they got them a Nintendo Switch. And it was because of the COVID and the weather was so bad, something they could do on family night. And they're only allowed to play it like an hour or so, and they only play it as a family. That little freaking turd is 3 years old, and nobody can beat him at Mario Kart. I mean, I don't even know how he knows to play. Like, he'll be driving that little buggy, and he'll be throwing bananas and shit at you and, like, making the road slippery and all kinds of shit. I don't even know how he knows how to do all that. And he knows exactly what he's doing. And he does, and he'll just sit there and do it, and I'll have to try to find a video of it, and he will giggle like a little evil little gremlin. I ordered, do any of y'all have a Nintendo Switch? I ordered 2 of them, which of course the snowstorm hit. I ordered one for our house and one for the cabin. Since the boys all like it, I figured it would be something when they're here they could play with. Which I used to play all the Nintendo games, so if it's all Mario Karts and stuff, I should be good. I used to play those in the olden timey days. Tammy, was that hardwood floors that you put in your house, or was that the new, like that luxurious vinyl planks? We haven't gotten any snow. It hasn't even. That's just insane. My uncle is in Colorado, and he said they didn't get very much, and what they did get is already melted. I ordered the Nintendo Switch. It's like it can play on your TV, or you can hold it and play with it. I got 2 of them. So supposedly, you take the little one you put in your hand and put it inside of like some little box or something and can play on your TV. Which I have a PlayStation 4. We did have a whole bunch like Xboxes because Bear would collect, what do they call collectors games? Like the Xbox and all them that were the collector versions. So, but his best friend, I let his best friend have all that stuff because they used to play it together all the time. And I think it kind of meant something for him because they spent so much time goofing off and playing planks. Okay. With the vinyl planks. It is, and you get so many other colors. And because one of our houses is a mobile home. So in the houses that are on the concrete slab, we have the wood floors and stuff. But In the mobile home, they told us, in the double wide, they told us not to put the wood floors in. So we use the vinyl planks. And it really works good because even if it gets wet or whatever, it doesn't mess up. And it's easy. You can install it yourself. You don't have to hire anybody. But now in the cabin, because we're not up there all the time and it's not climate controlled, we can't put wood in there. We can't put the vinyl planks. So we're going to either have to put ceramic tile, the wood that looks like ceramic tile, or we're going to have to acid wash the floors because the specialist or whatever we talked to was like, nope, it gets really cold here and really hot here. Unless you're going to run air conditioning and stuff all the time, it'll mess up. But we wanted originally, have you seen how they do the colored floors? They put like the metallic stuff on it and it'll look like leather and looks like stuff like that. That's what we were going to do originally anyway. And then the kids were all complaining that it would be slippery and it would hurt your back walking on concrete. And so then we decided we would put in wood floors, and the guy was like, nope, can't do that. The ones you put in, Tammy, they kind of got kind of a gray color to them. It kind of looked like in the picture. Yeah, we got the high grade, so it's scratch resistant. I can't wait until the granite gets put in the bathrooms next week. So are you gonna? Oh yeah, granite's nice. But they make that. My daughter put that luxury planks, but it looks like a travertine. It looks like it's supposed to be travertine, but it's actually the luxurious planks, and you even put grout between it. And when you put it down, nobody knows that she doesn't have travertine in her bathroom. I mean, even if your shoes are off and you touch it, it still feels. Yeah, it's gray. That's what I thought. I really liked it. My daughter, well, both my daughters really, they're all into everything in their house is gray and blue. My daughter even, they just bought a new house. They put white carpet in it so it would match the gray walls and stuff. White freaking carpet with a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. I think they do that. What do they call it? Modern farmhouse style or something like that. I think is what they call it. My house is whatever Home Depot has on sale because my ass is cheap, and I'm not afraid to. I'm cheap. I think we might put granite at the cabin because we won't need a lot of it. So I'm going to get black furniture soon. The only problem with furniture, though, like even up here, seems like everywhere you go, everybody has the same stuff. It's like the same stuff everywhere. And then you go to people's houses and everybody has the same stuff. I think at the cabin, we're looking more towards like suede or something like that. We're going to be up there mostly when it's cold. So here we have leather in one of our living rooms. We have suede in our other living room. And I'm going to tell you what, that fucking leather gets cold. Like, I haven't even been in that room since the cold. My husband's been in there playing video games and stuff. But you sit on that damn leather, you will freeze your ass off. Oh, I am so cheap. Everybody makes fun of me. Everybody. I don't care. Girl, I clip coupons. I do the sales paper. We, when this last summer, when back in March and April and stuff, when COVID started to hit, we weren't traveling as much. And it was getting so hot up there that a couple times they went up there to work. And everybody was just like to the point of almost getting heat stroke. So we kind of slowed down a little. And then when Bear got sick, we just kind of pretty much shut it down. And we didn't really start going back until a couple weeks ago. And we're just trying, everything in our life has just kind of been at a standstill. We're just really now kind of starting to, I don't know how to explain it, get back to normal. It's not really normal, but, you know. So we've got to red seal the bathroom where you have to paint it with all that red stuff to keep it from leaking. And then they'll put the ceramic tile in it, put the ceramic tile in the bathroom, and then we need cabinets. And yeah, I mean we're pretty close. Most everything that we need to do from this point on is cosmetic. We were up there a couple weekends ago and we were doing tape and texture. And on those rooms, all we got to do now is blow paint. I know you know what we're going through. Probably going through the same thing. It's like the new normal, I guess you'd call it. I guess it's why I've gotten so fed up with all the nasty YouTube stuff, especially when you like look on Twitter and then you see so many people that are from our community that are sick and like Sunbury housewife, she has COVID and has been in the hospital and stuff. And instead of like worrying about each other and wishing each other well, everybody's like attacking each other like there's blood in the water, you know? Yeah, send me pictures. I love looking at stuff like that. Well, I guess I better get off here. I've been on here like an hour and my battery's down to 40%. And thank you guys for stopping in. I appreciate the support. If any of y'all need anything, holler at me. Even if you just need somebody to holler at. Talk to y'all later. Night, Tammy. Night, Daisy. Night, Pearl. Who else is in here? Night, guys.